Hi, this is John, and this is Bankrupt Acres. Thanks for clicking on the video. So, my wife and I are building a barndominium on 3 acres here in eastern Iowa and starting a new chapter of our life. So, keep following along. We're trying to document every step of this process. It's going to be interesting. Thanks. All right. So, the builder's coming to backfill today. They're going to bring some loads of manufactured sand. And we kind of ran into a time crunch, but we need to put in drainage tile for our downspouts, our eaves to tie into. And then we're going to take it off the west end of the property. So what I'm doing right now is I'm running this 100-foot length of tubing, 6-inch non-perforated tile all the way the length of the building, and we're going to have to cut probably one spot down there by our covered porch, um, an area where we can bring a pipe up also, because there'll be a downspout there. There'll be a downspout here on the corner that we'll put in, and but let me get down in there and let's start doing it. All right, I know it's going to be hard to see here, but there's these little I don't even know what you call them, ties that they used to put the forms in that they leave. And we're going to use zip ties to tie this PVC or this tile to keep it right on the lip of the, oh, here comes our man sand. Well, let me get one of these tied off. So these zip ties I bought, I think they're 20 inches long, and you can take them off. They've got a tab that you can release them. But the way they're put in the bag, they're kind of difficult to work with. All right, got that one attached. Here comes our man sand. I don't know where you want to put it. All right. I think we're going to start off, we're going to get 8 loads. A lot of sand. Thank you. All right, so I'm doing about every second or third one I'll put a zip tie on. Just keep moving down the row here. I'm just setting it on right on the ledge of our footer. So they bend these ties the wrong way in the bag. All right, so that's up. So Tad, our builder, he's on his way. Great guy. Unfortunately, he's like an hour away, so it's going to be a tough project for him. But, well, let me get this. I'm knocking all that stuff in. There's the third one. But before, I'll probably go a little over halfway with the zip ties, and then I'll see where we want to tie into that downspout for the porch. These zip ties are really nice. Got these at Menards. All right, I need to open up a new packet. So the geothermal people were here today too, and I thought this was interesting that on the other side, on the north side, we're gonna tie that tile for the downspouts into a tile that they're gonna run along and over the geothermal loops. So in case the ground gets a little dry, I guess it conducts the heat and cold better if there's moisture in the ground. So having some water on that, some moisture on that tile or the loops will help. So, and I've always heard that if you put a geothermal loop into a pond, that's a better option than just the ground. So it kind of makes sense. But so that's going to be nice because they're going to help me tie off that other end. This end we're going to have to dig out, and we don't have a trencher. So that's going to have to wait for another day. All right, that's done. One, two, three. And really all we're doing with these zip ties is just trying to keep it straight and in place for until they get the backfill sand around it. Once they get that backfill sand, it's not going anywhere. So we're just hanging it and getting it out of the way. On the other side, we have utilities coming in under, they have pass-throughs on the footer. So it's nice to get it off the ground and lay it on the footer so that they can work to get the geothermal loops and the water through there. So we are about the halfway point right here. One, two, three. So the porch, the covered porch, is going to come from this far end down here. So at that point, we're going to have a downspout where the house. So I probably measure out where 30 feet is. But I think I'm going to. So now, what I've been using to cut this tile is, well, I used a grinder, but I think really a utility knife would be just as easy. So I think I'm going to try that next. So I'm going to go get my tape measure, see where we are, and then we'll maybe get you a different view since you're way down there. Feels good to stay in the shade. So those guys have just gotten after it today. I've been working all day too, kind of putting in that tile for the drains. Right now they're backfilling everything along the wall. We've got man sand on the inside, going back with mainly dirt on the outside. And then in the corners, we're going to put some man sand because we're going to have to dig that back up to take the drains out farther. So I asked them to fill back sand there, a little easier to shovel. But starting to look like a house project. So that's kind of nice. Spending a lot of money, so that's not nice, but that's part of the game, I guess. I'm going to switch it around so you guys can see what's going on. So the next steps then, I think what we're going to do is we're going to put the, well, the subs have to come in. We're going to put down all the plumbing, electrical that have to go in the floor, put some type of tubing or conduit in so they can run the lines to the island and to the places that are not going to have a wall. Since there's no basement, you can't come up from underneath. After that, I think they come in, level the pad with the sand, the man sand, manufactured sand. And they may do that before they do the plumbing too. Then they'll re-level it. I think they put a vapor barrier down, maybe the styrofoam, I don't know which first. After that, they put the PEX tubing for the in-floor heat. And then I think we're ready to pour. So we're going to pour that. The building, I would say by that point, the building should be here on site, the kit. And then this team, this construction team, father and sons, will then go ahead and do the interior after we get the building up. And they'll put the building up also. So it's been a full day. I think they've done well. So just thought I'd give you a look at that. Hey, welcome back to Bankrupt Acres. So I'm not sure if I'm going to put this all in one video or we're going to split it up, but we've got a lot of work done the last 2 days. So yesterday they got all the backfill work done, scraped off all the sod from where the house is going to sit, and was ready for the got ready for the plumbers to come in and do their work today. So starting on the subs, get everything set up before we pour the floor. We've got right now we've got the about half of the plumbing done today. They worked all day, and it's tough measuring it out, looking at the plans, making sure we got everything in the right place. We had a little panic attack because I didn't think we had enough room for the bathtub. So that wouldn't be a huge deal, I guess, but we had already ordered the bathtub. So we were going to own a bathtub we couldn't use. So that was going to be bad. But I think the plumber had mismeasured, bladed everything, and we got it where it's fine, just like the plans. But the plans are very confusing from Wix. They give you, they don't give you all the measurements you need. Technically, you can find them, but it's like a math equation trying to figure out distances. The plans could definitely be a lot better, but let's go take a tour. I'll flip you around and you can see where we're at here. It's funny. Every time I come out, the cats follow me around the yard. I think they're scared of the dog. So, again, this is the garage side. We're coming down what'll be eventually our driveway over here. Walking in the big 26-foot door. And this is where we'll start over here. This is where the sewer pipe's going to exit out the foundation and go over. It's hard to see because I've got a bunch of piles of sand, but past that skid steer is the septic tank. So tomorrow, hopefully, we'll have a guy out here. You have to have a permit in this county to tie in, even though there's septic on site and it's been certified. We have to have a permit to tie into it. So someone's got to come out here that's certified, make sure we have the right slope, and I'm hoping that gets done tomorrow, but I'm kind of doubtful. When they poured the footing wall, we did not leave a pass through for it, so we're just going to punch it out with a drill when they decide, or when and where they decide they need to pass that through at. So we come up here. Half this building that I'm walking on here is shop. There is going to be a floor drain right in the middle. Hey, Frady. And that is going to go off and tie into the downspout tiles. And there's a junction at each corner of the building that our downspouts, eaves will drain into when it's raining. They're going to tie this drain into that, and then it'll go out to daylight on that end of the building. But the plumbers aren't doing that. The concrete guys are putting in that drain. So we come up here. Here's the first wall. This will be the bathroom in the shop. So we're going to have, well, now let me see if I got that right. Yeah, we're going to have a shower and a toilet. And then there'll also be, so here's the shower vent, here's the toilet. And then we have over here will be our utility room. It's hard when I'm not looking at the plans. And then this is about all the farther they've gotten. So, but this line here is our 50-foot line. So this will be dividing the whole house. This is our, it's a 2x6 wall. And I think there's a fire rating on this wall, so half of it will be house, half of it will be shop. So we got a vent coming up in there. I think that's a vent for the toilet. I'm gonna have to check on that because there should be a shower in that room also. So this is the time we got to catch mistakes. There will be a shower here. This is our master bedroom, bathroom. We got a shower. Then they're gonna have a water closet on that end, and in between here will be a tub, and that's what I was concerned wasn't going to fit. So we bought a 6-foot long tub, just a soaker tub, but we didn't have the room. So hopefully that's all going to work. And then they haven't plumbed yet for the island or any of the kitchen stuff yet. So that's coming. We did find one mistake too. There's supposed to be a door on the south side of the house end, and they didn't cut it, or what am I trying to say? They didn't plumb that out in the wall, so we're gonna have to cut that concrete out. They did it for the other doors, and those are all correct. So here's our main entrance door. Show you what I'm talking about. So they stubbed it when they got the pass through, but they missed one over there. But supposedly that's no big deal. We'll cut that out. Then here, this is where, well, I got a cat down there now. Brady, get out of there. So this is our geothermal. There's two big, there's going to be 2 loops coming in, and they will pass through the footer wall up through these tubes, and they'll go up to a mezzanine, and that's where the geothermal units will be. They will go from there, where we dug out, all the way out, and where that light pole is, they'll go down from there also. So it's a huge area where they just dig that all up about, I think it's 6 to 8 feet down, throw in coiled loops of tubing to run the glycol through, and pump it back in for the geothermal units. So we're trying to keep all the utilities, everything else in this area where this trailer is, down that way, clear. And then what they're doing here is they're trenching the water line. So the water line, there's a pass through there for the wall, and it's going to go straight up, and you see where that water spigot is. That's where our well is. They're going to tie in there and bring water into the house. So they got the mini hoe digging that out. Just got a little bit to go. They'll finish that tomorrow. So we got a lot done. I know it doesn't look like it, but they did today. So hopefully we'll have everything at the end of next week ready to pour, and we can pour the floor. That'll be huge. Then the building should be here by then, and then we just start erecting the building, and hopefully in 3 weeks we're closed in and we can start on the inside. So that'll be huge because we're getting into fall and snow's around the corner, and we want all this stuff done. So, well, thanks again. Everyone be kind to each other, and I appreciate you clicking on this video.